Hey everybody, it's Tina Brigley and welcome back to another podcast episode. And I'm here today with somebody who's very near and dear to my heart. This is one of my personal coaches, Alexis. She's a transformational coach and an energy healer. And before I get into the amazing power that this woman has, I want you to hear her voice. So Alexis, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So tell us a little bit, how did you venture on this journey to become a transformational coach and an energy healer?
Amazing that you actually just asked that. I just ran a workshop about this. So I have been on this journey for over 10 years and I literally have been obsessed with changing beliefs. So I was in toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and I thought I need to break this pattern, and I need to change everything. I need to change my health. I need to change my body. I need to change my relationship patterns. I need to change. I need to get rid of this anxiety, this insecurity, this depression. And so I went on this journey, and I learned as much as I could. So I learned hypnosis, life coaching, energy healing, psychotherapy, NLP. I learned all these different modalities like Psych K, heart math, meditation, because I wanted to be able to transform my life. I wanted it all. I wanted the health, the relationships, the purpose, the money, freedom. But the biggest driver for me was I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to feel like what I did mattered. I wanted to feel that I was actually helping people in the world, that I was actually serving, that I was actually fulfilling a greater purpose that I didn't even know what it was yet. And so that's what started my journey. But how it's culminated is I'm a massive why person. So I want to get down to the root cause of what's actually wrong. And I want to rip that freaking root cause out so it never comes back. So it doesn't just transform one area of your life, it transforms your entire life.
Wow. One of the things that I heard right at the beginning is I wanted it all. And how many times do we not give ourselves permission to want it all?
Right?
Yeah. And it's just like this amazing journey that you were on, like NLP and hypnosis, all of this stuff that you took on was for you. And, underneath your why, what is really motivating you to make this difference?
I feel like that's what I'm here for. Yeah. What's the point of me being on this planet if I'm not here to make a difference? What's the point of me living this life if I'm not here to help people, to save animals, to be able to help people to love themselves, to be able to help people to shine even brighter, to help other people make a bigger difference here in this world, which is why I'm so passionate about helping people like you, because I feel like that's how we can make a massive domino effect in this world. If we help people that are change makers, that are here to make that genuinely heartfelt want to make a bigger difference in this world.
Oh my gosh. I remember the first time I met you live and in person in Barcelona. And there was just this energy about you that was just so magnetic that anybody in your presence feels your light, feels your energy. And I was so drawn to it. And I said, I don't know in what capacity we're going to work together, but I just know I need to work with you. And I remember saying, I want to take on my health. I want to be the best version of myself. And in my mind at that time, I remember looking at a photo of me where I was just in the best shape of my life. And I said, I want to bring this girl back. And I was looking at this girl's body, right? And I was like, I want her to come back. And it was in 2 sessions with you, I realized I didn't want to bring that girl back at all. That was just a physical shell of somebody I didn't actually want to be. And you helped me see that, what I came to you for was definitely not what I needed. And what I got was just the most incredible experience ever. And I want you to just share what it's like for you when you're working with people that come, because you're a vegan, you're plant-based, your energy, how many times do people come to you saying they want one thing and they actually need something else?
all the time. And you know, it's really funny. The last few clients that I've had, it's been the same experience. They don't really know what I do. They've literally just fallen into my lap, and it's like I just feel drawn to you. I don't know why, but I have to talk to you, and I just want to change, or I want something more. And there's always, you know, there's always a presenting problem, right? It's just like health. Like health issues are a symptom of the problem. It's never the problem itself. The problem itself is always the root cause, and the root cause is always just stuck energy. It's just low vibe emotions that's either stuck in your body, your energy body, or your field, your aura.
Mm.
And like what I love doing, and what I do for people, and I think that's why people are drawn to me, is I love helping you to be able to see that, to be able to release that, to be able to transform that, so you can just get out of your own way and just be you. Because you, without all the shit, without all the crap that's in your way, is so beautiful, so bright, and you have such a big purpose to share. And I truly believe that everybody has that. And it's like you're a jar and you're just filled with all the muck. So what we do is we take out the muck, so you can fill it. You can open up that jar, and you can welcome all the light that you want. You can welcome in all the love, the abundance, the wealth, all the, you know, the beautiful opportunities, the synchronicities into your life that you actually want, that help you to just shine brighter. Because we all have a purpose, right? And that's what I do. I just help you activate your gifts so you can shine even brighter and live that purpose and just be more of yourself. And that's what everybody is so afraid of. Everybody's so afraid to be vulnerable. Everybody's so afraid to just be themselves because they're afraid of what other people might think, feel, or say. But that's what everyone's waiting for. Everyone is just waiting for you to show up and just be yourself and do, you know, like the live that you did when you got out of the shower and your hair was in a towel. Like, that's the real you. And that's what people connect to, right? Because it's authentic energy, it's authenticity.
Yeah, and that's what I love about you, because I remember, I think we had been working together for a month, and I was on a group coaching call. And before working with you, you know, this is a little bit vulnerable to admit, but I was actually very fearful of getting it wrong, not getting it right, being afraid that I wasn't going to powerfully serve people, or I wasn't going to be enough, or it wasn't going to be enough for them. And I remember releasing that tension and that fear and that self-doubt. And I remember shifting my belief to, like, what if, you know, I could let go of not being enough to I am enough, and that whole letting your light shine brightly. How would I be showing up if I were really believing that I have a light to shine? And I remember the first group coaching call that I went on, and one of the people on the coaching call, she's like, Tina, what happened to you? I feel an energy shift. And she was another empath, you know, who does energy healing. She said, there's something different about you. And it was that quick, you know, that it happened. And I remember, you know, feeling like, is this all woo woo? Like, this whole energy shit, like, is this real or is it woo woo? And I was resisting a lot of it, but you hit it on the head. I was afraid of letting my light shine. And I didn't even see it, because I was like, I'm out there, I'm visible. I'm not like afraid to let my light shine, but I really was. And, you know, do you remember like a moment in, like, when you're working with people where you can feel like that shift? Like, can you feel the shift in others when you're working with them? Is it gradual? Is it instant? Like, on your side, what does it feel like for you?
Okay, so I am a crazy, powerful empath. I'm like a sponge, so I have to work really hard at not feeling. So I can feel, and I can see what you're feeling. I can tell you where are you stuck? What does it look like? What color is it? Where is it in your body? Where is it in your field? Like, how are you feeling? So I can definitely feel the shifts. But for me, the most profound thing is I can see your light. I can see, and I remember, like, that was in our first session, right? Like, Tina, this is what I can see you as. This is who you really are on the inside. And so I kind of feel like I'm like what's it called? The lighter, right? So I turn on that light, like, I'm not a smoker. I turn on the lighter. I don't know what you call it, right? That's
Yeah.
so much. I light it for you. I help you light it, so then you can shine your light even brighter. And when you do, when you just give yourself permission to just be yourself, then that gives everybody else that you see and feel in your life that comes into contact with you, and it doesn't even have to be face to face. They could just watch you and they feel that energy in you, and they're like, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's a domino effect that we have on people.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful because we've been conditioned, right? We've been like from birth, we've been conditioned to repress and suppress our emotions. We've been conditioned to repress our being, who we are. If you think about children, right? Like if they're crying or if they have a tantrum, what's the first thing parents say?
Stop crying.
Exactly, right? But like when you're crying, when you're expressing emotion is just energy, emotion. You're allowing it to flow through you, and it has to flow through you. It has to flow through you so you can allow more in. But over the years, we've just been conditioned to stop, suppress, repress, right? So then we have all these blockages within our body, within our field. And when you have all these blockages, you can't allow what you want in. You're literally blocking it. It's like, guys, the jar is full. There's nothing else that you can put in there. So what can you do? Well, you can either express it, you can feel it, or you can escape it. And a lot of people, that's what they're doing. They're suppressing, repressing, or escaping it. And you can escape through, drugs, alcohol, binging on Netflix, running away, like completing the same patterns over and over again, self-sabotage, whatever it is. It's still escaping, but it's not allowing yourself to just sit with it and feel it and allow it to move through you. But when you do that, the shift is instantaneous. And you know what's really amazing is that you can physically see it. Like you don't just feel their energy shift, you can see it. They look healthier, they look lighter, they look brighter. And that's the magnetic ability that you were talking about, right? That's when you walk into a room and people don't even see you. Like you could look like crap. You could have not slept for ages. Like I sleep very little. I sleep 3 or 4 hours a night, and people are like, holy shit, you're vibrant. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is with that?
Yeah.
And that's what you are now. It's amazing.
As you're talking, I'm thinking about other podcast episodes that I've done. And, people that are listening right now, you'll know that I coach on breakthroughs. So they have these profound breakthroughs. They get to the source of like where it's coming from, but now they're still left with this emotional residue. They're like, okay, but now what? Okay, I got to the source of it, but now how do I release? Like, how do I stop, or start releasing the fear and the anger and the resentment? I'm like, I don't know. Go to my coach, but it's like, okay, we can get there, but that is really a special gift, right? Of you have to have been able to let go of your own stuff in order to get to where you are today, to be free and clear, to help people release those emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a massive part of my journey, but it's a massive part of everyone's journey, right? Like I am super sensitive, I'm super emotional, but everybody is. The difference is that I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. I'm not afraid to cry. I'm not afraid to be afraid. I'm not afraid to be angry. I'm not afraid to be upset. I'm not afraid to be an emotional mess, because a breakdown happens just before a breakthrough, and we should always be breaking down so we can have a breakthrough, so we can elevate, so we can grow, so we can raise our vibration, right? So it is normal, it is natural to feel your emotions and to release your emotions, because you're right. There's three levels to be able to release a belief, story, energy, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. There's a conscious work where you identify what the story is, and the story could be I'm not good enough. And then there's a subconscious work where you go in and you're like, what's the trigger? Where's the event? Like, where did it come from? Could have been 5 years old when I drew something and my dad said that I wasn't good enough, right? Or my dad said that the teacher chose somebody else over me, or whatever that trigger event is. And I know that in Ching, like that's what happens. We get to that and they're like, okay, great. Now you know what the event is. Go change it. And then like you're kind of sitting there, you're like, okay, well, and then you take massive action. You're like, okay, I'm good enough. I'm going to do all these things, but it's hard. It's physically draining because you're having to just battle your mind constantly, and it's like you're stuck on this hamster wheel of overthinking and overanalyzing and self-doubt and I'm not good enough, but you're like literally trying to run faster to get off it because you're trying to think more to be able to fuck with the story and the event is to be able to get off the damn hamster wheel, right? Yeah. So then there's the third layer, and the third layer is the root, and that's energy. And that's, where is it stuck? Where is this emotion that I did not allow myself to feel stuck in my body or in my field? Because the crazy thing is that a lot of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the time, that story or that event isn't even yours. It's something that you've absorbed along the way. It's something that you've imprinted from someone around you, your parent, or it's ancestral, because ancestral wounding goes back 7 generations ahead and 7 generations behind. Isn't that crazy? So how can you go and find that story, that trigger event, if it wasn't even yours? Like how can you even start there when it's like it was never yours to begin with?
Yeah. And this is like a whole world of like what we don't know that we don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are just starting to talk about it now, but it's almost like people buy into it or they don't buy into it. But there's starting to be like more, I believe, more writing on the wall to show like, why is it that when I'm doing X, Y, and Z, like it's not enough? Like, why in my body do I still feel this way? And it's like the more we resist, the more it persists. And there is a way to release that, it's not, even if it's generational, we can still let it go.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Oh, sorry. And that's really like, I love that you brought that up, because your body, like universe is always giving you signs, right? But your body is always giving you signs. Your body is always trying to tell you something. So your body is your telltale, right? So if you don't have amazing health, if you don't have the dream body that you've always wanted to have, if you don't have what you actually want, like physically, health, body wise, and you're working towards it and you're working on it, then automatically there's a blockage right there. So listen to it. What is it? Like, what is it trying to tell you? Where is the blockage? And remember that it might not even be yours, right? So I'll give you like a super superficial example of this. But so all women in my family are scared of snakes. My mom's scared of snakes. My aunties are scared of snakes. So I grew up petrified of snakes, even though I'd never seen a snake. Yeah. And then one day I was like, where, like, I don't know where's this coming from. I was watching a Tony Robbins thing about it. And like someone had the same experience where they were afraid of something that they'd never been seen before. So it's just, and I know that's super superficial, but it's a genuine phobia.
Right.
Right. So like this imprinting occurs over generations and generations. So the amazing thing is when you heal, when you pull out the root cause, right? When you heal yourself, you're not just doing the work for you. We're all connected. You heal generations, you heal your partner, you help raise the vibration of the planet, you make everything instantly lighter, not just for you, but for everybody. And that's why you can have 2 people in a relationship. One person does all the work. One person does the clearing, the shifting, the energy clearing, the belief changing, the stories, changing the stories, and they release the energy, and automatically the relationship shifted, even if the other person doesn't do any of the work. Because we're all connected.
Tell us more about that, because it's interesting because one of the things, Alexis worked with me and she also worked with my husband, so that's another side of this. My husband is, for those of you that don't know, my husband's an electrician, he's a supervisor. He's got like a high level position in his work. But if you saw him on the outside, you'd be like, okay, I can't see this guy like doing energy healing and all of this stuff, but here he is taking it on. But you know, because I know some people have said to me before, I'm doing all of this work, but my partner isn't. They're not doing the work and it's not working. So can you elaborate that on a little bit more? Because I think this is like super high value for people that are watching because they're dealing with this right now. I know that there are people that are dealing with this. So speak into that a little bit more.
That is like a brilliant point. Okay, so there's two things, right? So it's called, and I know this might sound a little bit woo, but it's called the Ascension Process, right? So Ascension Process basically means it's the spiritual growth journey. It's where you face head on the triggers, you realize what resistance is there, and you do the work to be able to release the triggers and release the energy, the stories, the beliefs. So when you do that, your vibration raises. You let go of the lower vibrations of feelings of guilt, shame, sadness, hurt, anger, depression, frustration, whatever. You start to move up. And when you start to move up, your vibration, your frequency changes. So if you think about the types of people, right? Like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins obviously vibrates at a very high frequency, a very high vibration. So people aren't going to go up to Tony Robbins and be like, hey, dude, do you want a joint or a smoke or whatever? Because he vibrates at such a high frequency. So he's only going to attract high vibe, successful, positive people into his life, right? Now, when you do the work, you are elevating, you are moving up that vibrational scale. So you're going from, guilt, fear, guilt, shame, fear. Fear is actually quite high, anger, and then you're moving up. Then you go into courage, and then you're going to love, and then peace, and then joy. So when you're moving up that scale, people will either fall out of your life because they aren't vibrating on the same frequency as you anymore. You're not attracting them anymore because they just aren't on the same playing field as you, right? Or you will vibrate so magnetically, so highly that you start to bring them up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens in relationships. You either bring them up, which is what happened with you and Chris, and now you're both vibrating really high, or they fall out.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, you're letting go of what's no longer serving you. And it's about whoever's listening, it's about your personal growth, your journey. And to be honest, most of the people I worked with, their relationships fell apart. Not because they couldn't, they did everything to save it, but because their vibration started elevating and the other person didn't want to be along their journey. But that's okay because they're going on their journey.
Right.
Like my relationship fell apart, but now I'm doing this work with like amazing people like Tina. So this was my journey.
Right.
But it allowed me to let go of what was no longer serving me and make space to receive beautiful people like working with Chris and Tina.
Mm.
So it's what it comes down to is the conscious choice. Do I want to elevate or do I want to stay the same? And that's a conversation you have to have with your partner.
Yeah. And I work with coaches and, one of the things that we say is you got to be the real deal. You got to show up authentically in your life. And as you're going through this process of growing a coaching business, it is personal development on steroids. You can't hide from yourself. You can't hide from your life. If something's not working, you get to take it all on. And I get it. It is a scary journey. It was really scary for me to start raising my vibration and seeing the gap between my husband and I, get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was almost like not tolerable. And then I was like worried, oh my gosh, we were separated for 3 years. We've been back together for 2 years. Now, what are we going to do? Separate again? But then he made, like you said, he made the conscious choice. Okay, now I choose to do the work to start raising my vibration. Like this isn't just important for my relationship, but this is important for me and the world. Like he's up to big, magnificent things, like leadership things and, lots of opportunities coming his way. And he's like, I'm not doing this for you or for us. I'm doing this for me. And that was so beautiful, for him to make that choice. But I think there's a lot of people out there that really don't know what's available when they make that empowered choice. And it's the same reason why I say to coaches, you got to show up and share who you are with the world, because the world doesn't know what's available.
Yeah.
We got to wake them up and show them. And I'm so grateful for you to show up and wake us up.
Thank you. And that's what we do. We activate, right? And what I really want to share is that it all starts with intention. What is my intention? So if you're like in that example, and like I've got a similar example as well, with your partner in a relationship, if one person is elevating, one person's on the ascension process, and they're right in the personal development world, and the other person's feeling a little bit left behind, and the other person wants to start working on themselves, it comes down to what is your intention, and where is that coming from? Like, what is that space coming from? Is it coming from lack, scarcity, and doubt? Because if that is coming from that scarcity and doubt, then that isn't the right intention. Am I doing this so I don't lose the person? Am I doing this so they don't abandon me? Or am I doing this because I genuinely want to grow as a person? I genuinely want to be better. I genuinely want to stop being afraid, and I genuinely want to help people. I want to make a bigger difference. Like, whatever that intention is, that's going to determine the trajectory of that journey, that pathway. Because I was in a relationship where that happened, right? And the intention came from lack, scarcity, and doubt. So it fell apart, it fell away. Whereas I know, and I know, like, Chris's intention, like as you shared, it wasn't just for you, it was for him. And that's how he's been able to blossom. That's how he's been able to go from where he was to where he is now. And he's completely transformed. Like, it's just like, Tina and I were chatting just before this, and I was trying not to cry, because I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy, I'm so proud.
Oh, yeah, it's just like it's life-changing, and it's so, I mean, if anybody were to be a fly on the wall in our home, just from working with you for a short time, our dinner conversations with our kids, we have a little cue card, and it's like, this is what happened today. And then the second question is, this is how I'm feeling about it. This is what I need, and this is why I need it. So we got off, like last week, we kind of fell off track a little bit. And yesterday, my daughter, Lexi, who's 10 years old, she said, listen, you guys have been talking about some other stuff, about buying this lot. We've been getting away from talking about our day and sharing our experience. So I request that we get back on track. And just to hear that, it was just so amazing. And the conversations are so deep. With a 10 and 12-year-old, have conversations about integrity and responsibility and energy and low vibes, and just stuff that 4 years ago I didn't even know about any of this, and here we are as a family, just sharing and celebrating and connecting deeply. It is a miracle. I feel it's a miracle.
And like, Tina, you have yourself to thank for that, because you gave yourself permission to get out of your own way. And because you gave yourself permission to get out of your own way, it allowed you to step into, I know it sounds really cliche, like everyone talks about this in the coaching world, but it allowed yourself to not just step into your power, but really own your power and just be yourself. And that's just like, I know it's so simple, but it's so powerful. And because your daughters can see how easy it is to just be yourself without trying to be anybody else, without trying to impress anyone else, without being afraid of what other people might think, feel, or say, they're like, hold on, if mum can do it, if mum can call people out on their shit, if mum can do all these things, then so can I. And that, when you empower yourself, you empower others by just being you.
It's so true. And, I hate to talk about my kids all, but like, this is the ripple effect, you guys. Like, literally, when you do the work, it ripples into your family, into your communities, into your friendships, into your relation. This isn't just about you, it's so much bigger. But last night, my daughter came out of her room. It was 8:30 at night. And she said, Mom, I just need to hug you. Like, I need to just be with you. And she sat on my lap and I was hugging her. And she looked at me and she put her hands on my face and she said, I don't know if you know this, but I just love you. Like, I just love you so much. And she's like, how can anybody not love you? Like, do you get like the love that you give and the love that I feel for you? And it's like a 10-year-old, just expressing. She's like, I have so much love in my heart, Mom. And it was just like, it took my breath away. It took my breath away, feeling that like, and she said, and if I ever get mad at you, know that it's okay. I'm always going to love you. You know that, right? And it was just so kind of humbling. And it's like, this is why I take it all on. And this is why, like, I knew working with you was just going to release like a miracle. And, we have some exciting news, don't we? Like, uh, yeah. So Alexis, do you want to share, like, because I'm excited to give you, I mean, I'm saying give you to the world, but no, like my world is HPC and my community is everything to me. And, before, like, I invite you to share, I was like, everybody needs an Alexis in their life. When they're taking on their business, everybody needs an Alexis in their life. And I know we were kind of talking and we're like, how do we make this happen? How do we bring Alexis to our world? And so, Alexis, what is happening? Like,
Okay. I'm super, super excited. So as you've heard, one of the things that I help activate people to do is self-expression, right? And that's what, like, we aren't taught how to love ourselves and how to express ourselves without fear. So it's one of the things that we activate people to do. So I'm super, super excited because what is coming up in part, like I'm delivering a live workshop in partnership with HPC. The first topic is how to be real, raw, and authentically vulnerable, or powerfully vulnerable and authentic. And that is all about self-expression. It's all about the work that I do. So I'm so excited about that. And I will be creating a module in your launch program.
oh my gosh, that is like so exciting.
I'm so humbled. Like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to help amazing people that are wanting to make a big difference.
Oh my gosh. And what a blessing. I know that in this process of growing a coaching business, right, people get triggered and their stuff comes up. And a lot of times, I've heard people say, when they're in blame and victim mode and not really taking on responsibility, they say things like, I feel like I'm just a number. And that really, like, I heard that only once, imagine, like, we've helped thousands of people, but one person said that. And I really took that personally. Like, I wanted to be responsible for, like, how do we make people not feel like a number? And for me, it was like, we care about you, the whole person, not just helping you to grow your business. But when you're having these breakthroughs, we wanted to be able to support people to release the negative emotions that they've been carrying. And we know that that makes a difference. And so having a module from you in the training platform and having access to you to have those, not only breakthroughs with us, but release the energy, the stored energy. It's just such a perfect synergy. It's such a perfect alliance.
Yeah, I really feel that now. I'm honestly so excited, and I feel like it's like a missing puzzle piece.
Mm-hmm.
because you can have, and I know firsthand, right? You can have all the strategy, you can have all the action steps, you can know exactly what to do and help people, and have people that are help you that are getting you past your conscious and subconscious blocks. But man, if you've got shit from ancestral wounding, like from generations down that you don't even know about, do you know how hard it is to release on your own? And if you're struggling in one area of your life, then I guarantee you're struggling in multiple areas of your life, whether or not you're aware of it. And it all comes down to not loving yourself enough and not expressing yourself. And expressing yourself isn't just saying how you feel or painting or writing or whatever. It's honestly just allowing yourself to release that emotion and know that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have a breakdown. And what I do and what we do is we encourage you to have as many breakdowns as possible, even though it doesn't feel nice. And most of the time you're just like, just 1 week. I just want 1 week where I don't lose my shit. Right? I just need to not cry for like 3 days. But when you're doing that, you're just releasing and you're making more space. And that allows you to connect better with other people. Because when you share what you're really going through, then other people can see that, hey, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be strong. I don't have to be this or try so hard and be this person that I'm not. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going through the same thing. Everyone feels like they're not good enough. And the people that are the most vulnerable are the ones that are the most authentic. And I want to flip it on its head, because I know Brene Brown did that talk on the power of vulnerability, which is where all this started from, right? But I want to take it to the next level, because vulnerability is strength. If you have the strength and the courage and the guts to just be yourself, to be a complete mess, to share what you're going through, to share what you've learned, and to be okay with that, then that is not just powerful, that is not just strength, but that's sexy.
It's so sexy. Like,
right?
it's so sexy. Oh man, yeah. Like, and it's a funny inside joke between Alexis and I, because when I first started working with her, I said, I want to bring my sexy back. And I realized that it's not a weight on the scale or what you look like in clothes. It really is a state of mind.
Yep. And it's the complete opposite. Like, you don't feel confident and sexy when you look amazing. You have to feel confident and sexy, and you have to love yourself to be able to let go of the stuff let go of the fear, guilt, and shame about how you look and feel, so you can actually change your beliefs about about actions that you need to take, right? So it starts with, okay, let's let go of feeling guilty for being pretty, or feeling shameful for looking a certain way. And then once we've let go of that, then we've got more room. Then we get to choose what we want to believe in. So instead of believing that it's really hard to lose weight, let's start to embody that it's not just easy to lose weight, but let's focus on the outcome. Let's focus on having, this is one of my personal things and a joke that I have with Tina, let's focus on having a 365-day bikini body, right? Now, what do I need to do to have that? Well, I need to eat right and I need to exercise, but I'm only going to eat right and exercise and make that a state of being if I love myself enough to be able to do that. You need to love yourself enough to be able to take those actions. It's not the other way around. That's where everyone gets stuck. Everyone's like, if I take the actions, then I'm gonna love myself. Or if I take the actions, then I'm gonna have the dream body. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to love and accept yourself the way you are now, right now, in your red hot mess, so you can shift.
Yeah.
So it becomes easy to eat right. So it becomes easy to exercise. And you don't even need to do that. Like, Tina, remember what happened in Barcelona? Do you want to share? That was the funniest thing ever.
Which part?
The weight thing with the eating.
I don't even remember. I don't know.
Do you want me to share?
Yeah, share. I don't remember.
Okay. So before we met, Tina was like working really hard and losing weight. And then had a week in Barcelona with the HPC team. Right. And then, so, week in Barcelona with the HPC team, like with colleagues that you don't always see. What do you normally do? You eat and you drink. But what happened at the end of the week that you noticed? Do you remember?
I think I lost weight during,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I feel lighter going home. How is this possible? Must be no processed foods in Barcelona. Like North America has all this, it was just like not attached.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
letting go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, it's so funny. And what's really interesting too, when we were in Barcelona, we had a photo shoot and the photos were okay, but I was like, I don't really even recognize that person in the photos. Like it seems stuffy and like not really me. And then I just got a new photo shoot done. And the pictures are just so amazing. Like people are like, oh my gosh, you look so great. And you look so alive. And I was just really comfortable. I was laughing and I was smiling. And, it was just a totally different experience of just, having fun with it and not, being attached to like looking a certain way or like, I don't know, it was just really fun. And it was just like this, I get to just be me.
yes. And do you know what the biggest shift in you is in regards to that? Like the photos look incredible. You look amazing. You love yourself now, Tina. You accept yourself the way you are.
Damn right.
Because, right? Right? Like we've gone from so our sessions were titled Sexy Bitch.
You have a sexy bitch meeting with Alexis today.
And then right. And then within, I think it was so quick, within 2 or 3 weeks, she was like, I am the sexy bitch.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a shift in energy and a state of mind instead of being.
Yeah.
Because
One
you
of the
own it
things,
now.
it's so funny, Alexis, I'm looking at my vision board right now and I'm like, all the things that we created, like the vision beyond the vision and stuff like that. I gotta like level up already. I have like, not I have to, but I get to like really do my vision board over again because except for the vacation, everything is already kind of fulfilled. you know, I wanted the car, I got the car. I wanted the fancy heels, I got the fancy heels. I wanted to build a house, I just bought a lot to build my house, my dream house. This all this amazing stuff just opens up when you are really true to you and really open to being authentic. And
Yep.
being authentic is being aware of when you're inauthentic and just letting it go, letting it all go,
Exactly.
letting the light shine.
And getting into alignment.
Yeah.
Like that is, when you're in alignment, everything's easy, everything flows, it feels right, synchronicities happen, and things manifest really, really quickly. And that's like you shift super, super quickly, and everything just kind of falls into place. You meet the right people at the right time. You don't have to work exceptionally hard because it's right, it's the right path for you to take.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not in alignment, that's when everything is really, really hard. And if you keep fighting it and you keep fighting, you're like, yes, I want to hold, like you said, like letting go, right? Like, I want to hold on to this life. Literally, everything will break. Every single thing will fall apart because it was never meant to be your path, because it wasn't in alignment. Just like you being a teacher, me working in corporate banking, Max working in corporate banking, it wasn't in alignment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so incredible. Well, I am like, I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited for Alexis to be joining the team HPC, being able to like access her and her amazing gifts. And it is a gift. I know you've done the work, but there's also a very intuitive gift that you have to offer the world. I'm super, super stoked. I'm like over the moon. Like you have no idea. I know you guys will be too. Alexis, what do you want to leave us with? What are your final thoughts?
I want to remind everyone out there that you're more than enough the way you are. And the greatest gift that you can give yourself is just to give yourself permission to be you and express yourself in any way, shape, or form that feels right for you without shame, fear, or apology, because we're just waiting for you to show up just as you are without you trying. We're just waiting for you to just be. And when you step into that, Oh my God, I promise you your life will exponentially blow up just like it did with mine, just like it did with Tina's, because you don't have to try. Like, you know, Tina and I joke around about it. Like, I don't do any prep for my coaching sessions. I'm literally just myself. Like, sometimes I shop with cat ears, sometimes I'm in a bathrobe, and I'm just myself. And, you know, like, Tina wanted to work with me from me walking into a room. Like, if that's not just really embracing being yourself and not having to try, I don't know what is. And that's what you can absolutely do, what you deserve to do, because you deserve to be happy and you deserve to receive all the love, abundance, and joy that you want, just as you are.
Oh my gosh. I have nothing else to add because it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Alexis, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I know in my heart that people that are listening are completely blown away right now by your light and your energy. And I know they got so much value from this conversation. And I just want to thank everybody for listening and supporting us, and for being the badass human being that you are, willing to take it all on for the greater good of the world. So thank you, Alexis. And thank you everybody for watching and listening.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm sending love to everyone that's watching. And to you.
Bye. Thanks, Alexis. Bye, everyone.